All right, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how engineers can find their dream partner, even if they are shy, introverted, or if they're just having a lot of challenges in their dating life and being able to communicate with women, okay? So in this video, I want to make sure that you take notes, and if you're the type of guy who is also in that same boat, you're having challenges, maybe with like many different things that I'm about to say, this video is for you because you need to take notes, self-reflect on the things that you're doing, and also be able to implement this in real life. Start to do this so that you can get more dates with women, so that you can find your dream partner. The only way you're going to find your dream partner is if you work on yourself, okay? The beautiful thing is we can all improve our charisma, our personality, our communication. Is that something that we can improve? Yes or no? The answer is absolutely, okay? So let's begin. Before we start, I want to make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm posting weekly content every single week, giving you practical dating advice on how to succeed and how to improve on your dating life, okay? So make sure you subscribe, okay? All right, so let's begin. So one of the things that I noticed with a bunch of engineers that I work with is a lot of things that they struggle with is some of these things that I've noticed, right? Because I work with a lot of engineers. I'm a dating and relationship coach. I help guys with their dating life, and most of my clients, besides working with doctors, lawyers, real estate, I work with a lot of engineers, whether they are in the software side or in their mechanical engineers, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down all the challenges, all the hurdles, all the obstacles that a lot of men have, not just engineers, but men in general, and what can we do about it to improve, okay? So the big concept here is this, right? Because engineers are very successful in their career, in their field, they have to use logic in order for them to succeed in the profession. But when it comes to dating and women, if they use logic alone, they are going to fail at attracting women, because if you're very logical and you go into it with communicating to women from the logic side, usually the logical conversations are very kind of like platonic, mundane, a little bit boring, and then that equals to what? Getting friend zone. A woman not really knowing who you are, not engaging conversations, not deeper conversations, right? Success in engineering field, tech field, does not always translate success with dating and relationships. That is the absolute truth, okay? And what does that necessarily mean? That means that dating is emotional, not logical. That is one of the biggest things that I would say that most men have when it comes to being able to flirt with women and having that charisma energy when it comes to being able to like have humor and things like that with women. Because if they're so logical, it's hard for a woman to like feel any type of way about that guy. That's why every time that they go on a date with a man, right, like a woman goes on a date with an engineering man, usually sometimes women will always say, hey, you were nice, but I didn't feel a connection. What does that necessarily mean when she says, I didn't feel a connection with you? It means, hey, I gave you a chance. I decided to put my energy and my effort into going on this date by putting on makeup, looking good, spraying perfume, doing my nails, doing everything, going to making that drive to go see you, possibly in the dinner date or something else. And then from there, somewhere in the conversation, you did certain things that I kind of just lost attraction. You turned me off, or in your behavior, there were either nice guy traits or you display low status behavior that turned me off. Next. That's exactly what they mean, okay? So let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff, okay? So a couple of things. Most of them don't really have a real roadmap to success, whether it's on dating apps or in real life. They're kind of just going by like their knowledge that they have, which is not very much, right? Because they're more, logical guys that are in their profession. They've been working, they've been going to school, they've been studying really hard. But when it comes to interpersonal side of things, when it comes to social skills, when it comes to communication, when it comes to charisma, when it comes to personality, all these things they have never really worked on. So therefore, it's going to be kind of hard to be able to get success. I'll give you an example, right? I want to give you guys an example of one of my clients who was just an engineer. He was right here when I met him. I met him couple months ago. He was a successful engineer. He was doing good in his career, but in his dating and love life, he was struggling, right? He was lonely. He was tired of being alone. He didn't have anyone to share his success with, and he was struggling on the apps. He was struggling on his communication, on his social skills, on his confidence when he talked to women, and that in itself made him like kind of suffer, right? And he didn't really know what to do, so he joined my program. Okay, so when he joined my program, we came up with the actual step-by-step roadmap for him to succeed. Okay, he followed it. Some of the things that he was messing up on was, just like I said, too logical with women, right? He was just very, his conversations were very boring. He didn't really know what to say. He didn't really know how to like break the ice if he saw an attractive girl. And he didn't know how to keep the conversation going. So therefore, he was failing with women. He was failing, and he kept repeating the same mistakes over and over again, okay? When he went on dating apps, same thing, right? He wasn't getting many matches. His conversations in the text messaging were fizzling out. They were getting ghosted, all these things because he wasn't, displaying, good humor, being playful, having fun with the girl, texting her the right way, and therefore his conversations were fizzling out. He was getting ghosted, right? He lacked interpersonal skills, people skills. This is a big one. When I first met him, he had a very hard time looking at me in the eyes every time I talked to him. I was like, hey man, I'm talking to him, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and he's like looking down, and he's not really looking. When he's talking, he was like talking to the side. And I'm like, dude, immediately you got to cut this shit out. Like, you're not going to do that anymore. You're not going to repeat these things. You need to look at me in the eyes. This is what you're going to do. That when you're not looking at me in the eyes, you're showing that you're not very confident about yourself. You're not too sure of yourself. And if you do that with women can see that a mile away, okay? Women have this thing where they're a lot more social savvy than guys already because of the survival instincts, okay? If you go evolutionary side, most men, what are we? We're more physically stronger than women because we're the ones who are the protector of loved ones. We are the ones who are like hunting. We're the hunters. Women are the gatherers. So if women are not as strong as us, not as big as us, they have other things that they have that are better than for their survival aspect of things, right? And that means they're better at knowing what's going on, reading the room, having better nonverbal communication, and having more interpersonal skills than guys. So if you are not looking at women in the eye, women are already going to not be attracted to other. They're going to see that, oh, he's not confident. If you can't even look at me, how can you even look at, when we're together, next? Right, so this is what we did right away. We immediately fixed his nonverbal communication. This you can easily do, right? Start to look at people in the eyes, men and women. Don't just rely on women. Don't just be a guy who's just cherry picking, but do it to everyone. It's important that you start to look, right? Another thing that another client that I had when we used to work on social skills and kind of have that, I was helping him out with infield approaching men and women just so that he can get out of his comfort zone. Every time that we were walking, we were at the mall one day, and we were walking both, and I noticed that I'm looking at everyone, I'm just looking as we're walking by, and I'm noticing that he's looking down, and he doesn't want to look, and I'm like, dude, why are you looking down? You can't be looking down. If you're looking down, you're never going to be a good observer and notice people and notice indicators of interest if there's women that like you, or just seeing what's out there, being able to read the room. You got to be always looking, very relaxed, calm, poised. And this is something that you need to consistently do. Stop looking down. Don't look down. Okay? So I was like, why are you looking down? And he was like, well, I feel like everyone's looking all at me. Everyone's that I'm walking, they're just judging me. And I'm like, really? That's how you feel? He's like, yeah, so I don't want to look. I'm like, dude, everybody has their own problems in their life. They might look at you for 1 second, but then they're going back into their problems. They don't we're selfish creatures. We're not going to be thinking about you. If someone looks at you, cool, but immediately they're going to be thinking about their own anxieties, right? And so look at people, and just by being, relaxed, calm, poised, James Bond style, you're good. No one's going to judge you like that. And even if they do, how can they judge you for you just seeing them for a couple seconds? It doesn't make sense, right? Let's break these limiting beliefs. So we started to do that. We started to have little practical things that we needed to do, just start to look at people more on purpose. Not anything where you're like this, but just, relaxed. And he started to do that, and he started getting a lot more confident, a lot more better eye contact, especially with women too, right? So that's what we did already. and we fix on the posture, right? You never want to slouch down, right? Like you never want to be like when you're walking, like you're slouching down or you're looking kind of like hunchback of Notre Dame. You want to be looking strong, right? You want to be looking strong, walking confident. Never put your head down, never put your head too high up, but just a little bit as if like you walked into a room and you started smelling shit. And you're like, what the heck? What does that smell? And your head is just a little bit up like that. Not so much where you're like a gangster, but just a little bit. And that's the way that you want to just walk around like that with a strong posture, right? And he started to do that, and his walk was a lot better, okay? So, I mean, nonverbal communication is so important. And, like, that's something that every guy can fix right away. So, like, if you don't know how you walk, record yourself. This is an easy thing. Just go in your room, record yourself, and see how you're walking. Just act like walk normal like you would, and see if you're walking really weird or your posture, how it is. This is super important, right? And, like, to top it off, another thing too is like it's important to have strong body language whenever you are posing for a picture. Like if you have like a dating app, like photos and stuff, it's important body language. Body language is so freaking important, right? So we worked on all of that, and he started having way more success. Okay, he started feeling more confident, right? So let's keep going. Bad fashion and hygiene. This is a big one here, right? A lot of guys that are engineers, they don't really take care of their fashion. They don't really care about what they wear because they're more focused on, what they're working on rather than like people. They don't really care what they wear, so therefore they're just like wearing raggedy shirts, old pants, old shoes, nothing that makes them look good. For a guy, it's so easy for you to literally just like have like 10 different outfits that look really good and that fit according to your body type. It's not very hard to do this. So we already, we went to the mall, we hooked him up. Everything was all about how it fits, right? You want it to fit good. You don't want it to be too baggy. You don't want it to be too tight, baby gap style, right? You want it to fit nice, and you also want to, wear clothes that have a good first impression, that make you look good, that make you look attractive, that make you look sexy. Like, these are important things, and like if you're not going to focus on these things, then like it's going to be hard for a woman to really like see you right there and kind of be like interested in you, because if you're looking like kind of like you don't really know how to dress, or you dress bad, it comes like you're kind of like socially stupid, right? And you don't want that. Like, it's so easy for a guy to improve, right? So this is what I did with my client. We immediately hooked him up. We got a lot of different clothes, and already right there, his whole like style changed, and he looked amazing. He looked great. He looked way more attractive, right? And then we fixed on the hygiene. The hygiene is like, your nails being cut, having, a good haircut, your beard like trim. Right now, my hair is kind of all over. I'm gonna get a haircut here like tomorrow or like the next day. It's too long for me, in my opinion. I need to trim my beard, but at least like I'm doing that all the time, right? But if I just let everything go, I don't look as attractive, right? So we can all do this. And if you're going bald, just shave it. You can look more attractive. I'll talk more about haircuts later down the road, right? If you're like really hairy and stuff, we can like maybe trim up a little bit, right? So super easy to do this. He was not interesting person, not much like charisma. We worked on his charisma. One of the key concepts here to be more interesting is to be more interesting is to become more interested in people. Okay? That's one of the cardinal rules. If you want to be more interesting, you have to be interested in someone. And that's by asking them questions first, right? Asking them questions. Hey, how's it going? What's up? How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. So like, tell me a little bit about yourself. Or, these are just little things that you can already start to do with people at your work, in your workplace. Hey, how was the weekend? So what do you usually do when you're not working? Oh, I usually go to the beach. I usually go like do yoga. Oh, wow, you do yoga? Cool. What got you into that? Oh, well, and then they're going to tell you a story, right? Oh, and then from there you're like, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Read the book. You're interested. You ask them more open-ended questions, and by being more interested in someone, they're going to like you more, and you can make more friends in 2 months than you can your whole life if you follow the principle, right? And like I go even deeper with my clients on actually how to like go even deeper. There's layers to it, right? There's like, let's for example say that there's a book, right, that you read. You can probably get like a couple layers, but in the program that we do, we go even deeper. We go even deeper so that way that we can actually have way more people skills, right? We know how to actually be with people, right? And by doing this, you're able to make more friends, and you're able to also like have more charisma with women and get deeper with women, have better connections, be able to create that spark, right? All these things that are really good, right? So we're moving into the next thing of like what we're working on. It's very similar. We all can improve on our storytelling skills. Okay, storytelling is a skill in itself. Okay, by being a better communicator that is more engaging, we can make a person feel some type of way. We can make people like, oh wow, like because a good story that conveys different emotions can make a person feel like a way different thing than if it's just a very logical, fact-based story or just a vague story, right? A lot of times when, for example, when let's say that like someone asks you, oh, what do you do for work? And let's say that you're an engineer. Let's just pretend like it's a girl or a guy. It doesn't matter. This is a concept here. If a girl says, oh, what do you do for work? And then you're like, oh, I'm a software engineer. That's it, right? Instead, what you would want to say when a person says, what do you do for work? You say, oh, I'm a software engineer. Man, I freaking love it. Like I'm a software engineer I started like a couple years ago. And, one of the reasons why I started was because I remember when I was a little kid, my dad, he gave me these, video games, and I just like fell in love with like video games and like constructing things. And like I remember he gave me Legos, and I started constructing a bunch of Legos when I was a kid. I was like this little nerd kid, doing all that stuff. And I like fell in love with that. And then from there, I took it into like building computers, and then et cetera, et cetera. And then I started doing software, and like I've always had a knack for it. So I really love what I do. I have like such a passion for it, and I see myself like becoming even like higher rank in my engineering field, but as you can see, did you see the difference of what I'm doing rather than like, hey, I'm an engineer? It's boring, right? You can take the same thing for anything. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Oh, cool. Yeah. Man, yeah, I've been doing Jiu-Jitsu. Do you know what that is? Is it like karate? No, it's not like karate. Come on. It's actually like wrestling with grappling. Like you're trying to like you take the other person down. As soon as you take him down, you wrestle him down. You put him in like a dominant position, and then you try to submit the guy. Whether it's like arm bars, knee bars, trying to take his back, rear naked choke. You're trying to make the person submit. Like you're trying to put him in a submission. Oh wow. Yeah, it's like I love that. It's like one of the funnest things. It's like human chess. They're like, oh my god, wow, like that's really cool. Sounds interesting. How much interesting are you by like being deeper and getting into like good storytelling rather than like very vague, no people don't know you, right? This is like very shallow, surface level. This one you're getting deeper. They're knowing your inner world. What is more attractive to a woman or to people in general? This one or this one? This guy or this guy? I think you already know the answer, right? So let's continue. So we worked on storytelling, impromptu storytelling, and the way that he was communicating, okay? Now, couple little practical things that you can do that I did, like in the program, we have the whole program of like actually how to improve this as fast as possible. And we'd like live role play and we construct stories and et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to like, if you're just like on this YouTube channel and you just want to like improve, couple practical things you can do is get a couple books about like how to improve on your public speaking, like by Dale Carnegie. Okay. Another thing that you could do to actually like is like real life stuff besides just theory is actually to go to Toastmasters or go to improv class. Okay. These are classes like once a week. They're international. That means that anywhere you go, you can take a class. It's like not that much. It's like $20-$30 a month. And the whole point is to go to that class and work on your storytelling and impromptu conversations. Okay, improv conversations, right? I started to do this 2016, it changed my life. I used to suck at telling stories, okay? I was like the worst at telling stories. I remember when I was with like my friends, with women, in my dating life, anywhere, and there was like something that I wanted to say. It was the most frustrating thing for me not to really like be able to articulate the story, the experience from my life, okay? We all are unique individuals, and we all have cool, unique stories, experiences from our life that we can basically tell a story that comes to life if we know how to present, if we know how to tell a story. There is a skill in being able to tell a good story in front of people. If you do not know how to do it, Toastmasters is the place. It changed my life, okay? And I have other clients that go to improv class as well, like once a week. That's like if you're like kind of slow to like react, right? Like maybe you're not quick with it. That's the way to improve on like being able to react better, right? Like if you wanted to be a better debater, but not debater, like kind of like, you know, if you're like flirting with a girl and like she's like teasing you, you know how to kind of like right away kind of like flirt back with her rather than like not know what to do, right? So these are important little things, right? That like you're better with, right? If you do these things, they're practical, right? Some people might be like, oh, that's so much work. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Dude, if you think that's so much work and you're like a victim and you're like, you know, blaming everyone, it's your fault. It's not no one else's fault. We can all improve, okay? I was fortunate enough to break my leg 2016, tear my ACL, my meniscus. I was out for like a whole year, 6 months of not training jiu-jitsu. But I had a friend who came over to my house and he was like, hey, have you ever thought of doing Toastmasters? And I was like, Toastmasters? Is that a place to make toast? Like, what the heck are you talking about? Dude, it's a place to work on your public speaking, your improv. Okay, well, let me go. And when I went, as soon as it was my turn to speak in front of 20, 30 people, my heart was racing. And I was like, oh, crap. This feels like a competition. But I loved it because that was a challenge for me. And I already knew we men grow by what? By a challenge, right? If there's no challenges in our life, how can we truly grow? We're in the comfort zone. We are staying in the comfort zone. So that's how that was a big thing of how I improved. And another, to top it off, people critiqued me. And that was an amazing thing for me. So I got even better. 20 people critiqued me. What I need to do better, this and that. What I need to add, what I need to discard. And I just took all their information and I just kept sharpening. I kept going there week by week. I was that squeaky wheel guy. Hey, I want to do another presentation. I don't care if it's my second week in a row or third. I want to do it because I care about getting better. And I took all those stories that I constructed and I put them into my daily life with people, with women. And it changed my life. I promise you. Now I can make a quick 10, 20 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour YouTube video, and I can just keep going. I can just keep talking, as you see, right? Before I wouldn't even do that. I'm gonna post my first YouTube video sometime, and you're gonna see how bad I was. But I'm telling you, if I could change, anyone can change. Okay, I promise you. So if you want to become a better storyteller, do that. If you want to expedite the process, obviously, like you can work with me. We can come up with a game plan, and I'll show you exactly everything that I learned, right? All the stuff that I've been teaching my clients, right? So we can actually like learn 10x speed, okay? But that's what we did with my other client. And then from there, he was able to become more engaging, but tell better stories. And from there, we broke down all the limiting beliefs that he had. And obviously we crushed them, okay? There's a lot of exercises that we do. But that's what we did, right? So he went from, so like all these things right here, all these things, if you have these challenges in your life, you can easily improve. I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you the recipe. I'm giving you the formula, okay? All of us guys can improve, okay? So let's talk a little bit. He came to me, wasn't very good with women. He wanted to find a life partner. So that's what we did. He found me. We got coaching. We improved on his dating apps, right? We improved on his apps. We improved on all the stuff that I just mentioned. And we improved on him being able to like have more confidence in approaching women or just being able to break the ice when he saw an attractive girl, because that's an important thing. We're the hunters as men. We're hunters. Women are gatherers. We have to understand this concept. We have to have an abundance mindset. If the girl doesn't like us, cool. It's her loss. That's the way we got to look at it, right? And we just keep moving forward. What is she going to do? There's nothing that she's going to do, because we're not coming off in a creepy way. We're not harassing the women. We're just being able to know how to break the ice the right way, right? There's right ways to approach, and there's wrong ways to approach women, okay? If you don't know how to approach women, that's because you don't know, like, what are the best openers, or like what like are good frameworks to like come off like in a good, good vibe type of way, rather than like a creepy way, right? So he was able to do that. He built more social confidence. He started getting dates online, right? And that's where we got into this. And by doing that, he started getting more dates, and he started building more social confidence, and he started improving on all the stuff. He was also working out too. That's another thing too that like us guys, we got to do, that's just like mandatory. We got to go to hit the gym, right? If we're overweight, we can easily lose a little bit of weight, right? If we're kind of skinny, we can gain a little bit of weight, make ourselves look more attractive, right? Like, that's easy. And then buy nice clothes that look good at the gym, and also whenever we're going out, right? So we did that. He started getting dates, and guess what? There was a girl at his job, in his engineering job, that was like brand new. She came, and because he already started getting dates, he improved on all those things. He met that girl in his job. I'm not going to say that you're going to meet your girl at a job, but the social skills training of you improving on your communication, it's like Bruce Lee, like.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
So what that means is, like, you want to be natural, and like if there's an opportunity, like what happened for him was there was a girl, the brand new girl that came. He was able to talk to her, communicate the right way, ask her out the right way. And then from there, the rest is history. He got into a relationship with her. And now he's in a happy relationship with his girlfriend. And now he's like, dude, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Thank you for helping me with all this stuff. And I'm super happy for him, right? So I know most people, like a lot of people, they meet their partner at work, or they meet at like a school, or like in college, or in a classroom, or even high school. I had some friends that met in high school. But the thing is, not everyone is going to do that, right? Not everyone is going to meet their special lady, special partner in like their school, or in high school sweetheart, or maybe in college, or in their work, right? But that's what I'm trying to say is, like, we can all improve. And by improving on our social skills, communication, confidence, whenever there's an opportunity, like Bruce Lee says, we do not hit. It hits all by itself, right? Like, we just let our personality come to life because we know what to do. We're trained in our communication. So we can just communicate to the girl, see if there's good vibes, see if there's a good connection. If there's a good connection, we ask her out, have some type of call to action, and then from there, have a successful date, see if we can build more of a spark, more of a connection. And if there is a good connection, then we keep dating until we get into a relationship that leads into one-on-one meaningful relationship that turns into long-term relationship that turns into your wife, right? So this is possible for anyone that wants to improve, I promise you, okay? So if he wouldn't have met his, girlfriend now at work, he would have eventually met her on an app or in real life, And that's what a lot of my other clients do. They meet their like partner either like in real life or on apps or through the social circle, right? So this anyone can do, I promise you, right? So I hope that this video helped you out. I'm posting weekly content every single week on YouTube with practical dating advice. So make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And other than that, I'll see you guys later.